Plug it in and get ready to rock.
City Wild down with the hands of the clock.
With Renegade Pineapple so sublime.
Like, comment, subscribe. It's time! Yeah. Hello and welcome back to Control. We are now... Well, there's more pictures of me. It's a nice painting. I do like the painting. It's just weird because who has done it? Maybe the building makes it, but I guess it moves all the stuff around. Maybe the building just makes the paintings. I was about to do Control. There's another bit for it already. There's a pre-control. Right, now my actual control stuff. There's two things. One is that the poster in Artie's place about the security guard, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell because of the small picture. Are there more people here than there were before? I think there are. That's also weird. Yeah, the picture looks kind of like the security guard we went and talked to. Whatever his name was. Maybe not, but a little bit like him at least. Maybe it's supposed to give you that kind of vibe. Which I guess wouldn't be abnormal, because if they made the posters, why wouldn't they put one of their security force in it? Anyway, the other one was about the safe that we got last episode that gives us the shield abilities. Which I can't use in here, so I can't show you. Damn it! And the fact that at the time I completely bought into it and didn't find it weird, there's a bit in it that says whatever's inside the safe that's living isn't human. Wouldn't it be weirder if the thing inside the safe was human? That would be also really strange. That wouldn't be better. That's just dumb. And the one last thing is that I got another document at the end of the last episode, which I didn't read and have now read. And it's about a Christmas tree that repeats what people are saying in like a lower tone. So it drove a group of military personnel insane by repeating what they're saying, and they all thought that the tree was talking back to them, and it made them go into a breakdown. So yeah, watch out for talking trees.
Jessie.
Hello, my only friend.
You lifted the internal lock.
Other than the kaleidoscope.
Let's talk, Emily.
Yes.
Listen,
Yes,
Emily.
that's it.
Screw it. Just tell her.
There's this ding-dang thing in my head.
I haven't been completely honest. I have a younger brother, Dylan. When we were kids, we found an old slide projector in Ordinary's landfill. The slides created doorways to other places.
Oh, fun.
Bad things happened. Came through.
Be cool if we found that.
That's all she gets. The rest stays locked inside.
So that's why she's been looking for here. Is her brother lost in the doorways?
Through one of the doorways, we met something. A being.
Do they live in a safe?
A being. What kind of being?
It's hard to describe, but she helped us. We managed to turn the...
Oh, the kaleidoscope.
The bad things that came through the doorways were gone. After that, your people came. Tried to grab us. I ran away.
They take the brother.
They got Dylan.
Okay.
Behind.
Bureau agents took your brother?
Yes.
So
You covered it up.
he's not like dead because of
No
them.
one believed me.
She thinks he's here somewhere.
I just want to find Dylan. I've been looking for him ever since.
I'm the fucking director now as well, so I have the authority.
Slide projector. It sounds like another object of power.
Must be here.
I thought you took it. The Bureau. Along with Dylan.
I've never heard of it. But around here, I assume everything's classified. You know, I looked into the Ordinary AWE case files after you mentioned it. Trench and Darling were both involved. A large area of the containment sector was reserved for it. The case hasn't been active for a long time. I have no idea if anything's still there. Can you tell me more about this being you found?
Let's hope you two get along. She's been with me ever since Ordinary. In my head. She led me to you. I call her Polaris.
Polaris, like the North Star.
As in a guiding star.
Yeah.
Did Polaris know about the hiss?
Okay, we have a name for it. I don't need to call it the kaleidoscope anymore.
In spite of the lockdown, she's very powerful. Which may help explain your test results. Your readings are incredible, Jessie. Now cross.
Oh, that's nothing to do with Polaris. I'm just really good at everything.
Classified files. Unfortunately, I can't access them beyond the file codes. But one was P6, referring to a prime candidate for a potential future bureau director. This was logged years ago.
Dylan. Is that Dylan?
The other match is on something called Hedron, which must be connected to these Hedron resonance amplifiers somehow. All I know is that Marshall went to the research sector to secure the HRA production after the Hiss first attacked.
So,
Prime candidate
Marshall
stuff.
seems like our best lead on Dylan. I need to go after her. How can I get to the research sector?
Use my key card. The sector elevator will take you there.
Let's hope that the reason why
Marshall is the next step.
we can reflect on everything else isn't because
Emily told me
Dylan is the source of the hiss
powers being connected to things in the Bureau's past. I am
and
so
is something
close
from
to
the slide
something.
projector.
Do you feel it? Something's coming.
I mean, stuff's already here. There's shit already going down. We fought a big turd last episode.
I helped you. You owe me now. And when time comes, I will come calling.
Oh. See, I like Artie, but he's starting to feel more and more sinister. It's obvious he's got more powers than you're aware of, but he's starting to feel a bit more sinister. What are these paintings? Are these all previous directors? Look up there, though. There's one with something hanging off of it by all the blank ones. I can't tell, but that previous one looks like that looks kind of like Trench's picture. I can't see it well enough to know if it's Trench, but it looks like the same picture they used for Trench. So I wonder if the one with the thing over it is going to be a picture of me soon enough. I've got stuff to spend. Is there anything else I can talk to her about?
Hi, Jessie.
Get any more little details while we're here? Darling's whereabouts, yes. Oh, I've got loads I can talk to her about. Oh, Ocean View. I'm very interested in talking to her about that.
I keep finding traces of Darling, but still can't find him. Where could he be?
But he's usually in his office in research or one of his labs. Dr. Darling has quite a few all around the Bureau. Could be hiding in any one of them. I check myself, but I don't have access to most of them.
He's built
Sounds like
a
a
bigger version of the device he's given them,
You into his lab?
so his whole section's probably secured.
All of them, no. Some had volatile material. It's ridiculous. I mean, this whole place is volatile material. Could have at least thought of a more convincing lie. I mean, how can I work without access to all the data possible?
This place has a bad habit of moving around, huh?
So you notice the building shifts. Did you know that 39% of Bureau accidents are caused by the shifts? It's true. I ran the numbers myself.
So it would make sense.
Oh, very.
I wonder how many people just get trapped somewhere.
Shifted into a meeting room along with over 2,000 gallons of water. It was a tiger shark. Darling's pet research project. I forget what he was researching.
So
People work here.
stuff can just suddenly happen. It's not like you can see it coming.
You said you're an assistant?
Oh, it's just a title. I'm a scientist, a researcher. I work for Dr. Darling. See, when Bureau agents go out in the field, the sites of altered world events, we study the materials, the altered items they bring back. It's always something we've never seen before, and studying them requires new instruments, methodologies, sometimes entirely new fields of science.
Emily really loves her job.
See, there's no guidebook for what we do here. Everything that happens at the Bureau, including the science...
It's so abstract, it needs someone that can just study the basics of it. Yeah. Before Darling does tests, she's like she's very, like, methodically statistical, so she must just test everything.
What exactly is the Ocean View Motel?
That's a bigger question than you might think. You see, I have extreme doubts that the motel is a single place. I mean, look at all the doors inside it. Where do they all go? We know that one door leads to the oldest house, but how come we can only ever open that one door? Maybe to open a door, you have to have entered through it. So if every door leads to a different dimension, plane, reality, whatever you want to call it,
It's
then
like the slideshow thing that she found as a kid,
firm proof that parallel universes exist.
which is probably what the thing she had does.
I haven't told him yet. I'm waiting until I can prove it.
Okay.
What can you tell me about control points?
They're nexus points of the oldest house's unique energies. Well, I wrote a 30-page proposal hypothesizing that we could siphon energy directly from them. Darling didn't even get through the first page before he turned it down.
Right.
Yeah.
And, has
He seems
anyone
like
used them to teleport
Good,
around?
but self-important from all of the stuff about him.
No, not that I've ever heard of. Why?
Because that's how they work for me.
What? Really? Oh my god. More tests.
Let's hold off on the tests until later, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just... wow. This blows my control point theories right out of the water. I love it.
She's really nice. This is the problem, because of all that, like a book club thing where it's like the favourite character dies halfway through. I'm really worried for Pope, because I like Pope, and I feel like the game wants me to like Pope to the point where they're gonna kill her off to make me sad.
See you soon. Be careful out there.
Alright, let's go do some upgrades, since we've got one right out here. So Marshall is in parapsychology.
Document the hiss incantation, she calls it.
Yeah, the rambling.
In person, with a pencil and paper. I think she's trying to get us killed.
You've really got to be... most of them just float. Just don't go all the way over to them. The ones that talk don't do anything. Okay, it's got a few upgrades. Upgraded my health, my energy, and something to do with launching, I think I did. And then I've got another weapon. So I've got the spin one, whatever that does. We'll find out next time we go to fight someone. And I changed my personal mods up a little bit as well. I've improved my pickup and stuff like that. Can I just get the lift straight to parapsychology? I'm sure research is one on there, isn't it? Yeah, research. Yes. Oh, research is the bit I wanted to look around, isn't it? Perfect. This works out great. The video isn't coming up now. So is it lucky I came down here, otherwise that wouldn't have played? Or does it only just play once when you come in so that it doesn't drive you nuts? How do I change my weapon again? No, that's an attack. How do I change my gun type? I can't remember. Yes, there we go. So I've got that on instead of shatter now. I don't know that I'm not really a shotgun person, so I don't know if I'll leave shatter on. I think I'm more interested in using spin and then using the pistol one to be more precise. We'll see. Maybe we'll have both of the new ones instead. Plant complaint. That was a message from Dr. Lewis about all the plants in here. And the fact that Artie sings to them and he was getting annoyed with Artie always singing the same song. His little tango music that we heard before, I believe. Ooh, this is a cool floor. I like it in here. And that no one knew when he doesn't know where the plants came from, who planted them or anything. Is that the hotel? The motel? The Holiday Inn? Synchronicity. So that was about synchronicity and the idea of events happening simultaneously and not being restricted by... Oh, this has got a wide old spread. Oh, it's alive still. I thought it died when it went into the floor. I was trying to explain a note, which I'll do after this. Oh, you can get them with that. They're only good at dodging it in the air. Once they've bumped themselves, you can catch them with it. That makes them a lot easier to defeat. You suck. You don't need to bother, mate. I would just stay away. Where's Floaty McGee? There you are. How did I throw him? Haha, fuck you. Yeah, this is just as good as having the shatter. It stuns them a little bit, so you get the chance to attack. Have your friend. Aww. It's a lot more violent looking, though. Right, so the two examples that it gave in the note that I think were interesting were the idea of people dreaming about an event before the event happens, and dogs sort of knowing that their master has died while not being near their master. I think that's kind of interesting. This game touches on a lot of different points. They're sort of the same idea, but very well thought out. People have put a lot of effort into this game. Is he a sniper? I'm just going to come down to you then. It's okay, you can keep shooting. You can't really hit me from there. I'm just too fast. Let's check out the shelter while we're here. Get me some upgrades. Take this bench as a weapon. Hold on, you can all probably fit on this when I throw it in your faces. Got ya. Yeah, I'm going to focus a lot of my upgrades. Oh, I thought I was still on the other weapon. I'm going to focus a lot of my upgrades on the ability to throw things because it's so useful. I'd rather make that really strong. I'm not as worried about the other things. Oh, no, I don't want you to show up there while I'm fighting people there. Switch back to pistol. Have a bin. What was that? I was one of the explosive guys. It was you, wasn't it? Sometimes it's easier to move her than to move her aim, which is weird, but whatever works. You're strong, I don't like that. I didn't mean to grab him, I was thinking I was grabbing that explosive. Because I could see it fucking coming. I knew it was about to fire again. I also... Is there still guys falling? That sounded like the drop noise. No, we're good. I also upgraded the... I switched over to a different version of the thing that gives us more health when we pick up the blue shards. So instead of getting like 30, I now get like 50 or something stupid. No, that might be too extreme. Instead of getting like 20, I get 30. Something like that. Either way, it's better now. Bulks. This bit's really messed up. This is mid-shift. But also, it's all hiss. I guess I'm not going in that way. Oh, another thing. Got a lot of mods. Right, I can go down here. I mean, yeah, ultimately we want to get through that, but I don't think I can do anything about this at the moment. There's not like a cleanse point here. So anything useful down here? Or a way to loop round, maybe? What's this stuff? Another document. Threshold utility. So that was another note about thresholds and said about the black rock being from one of the thresholds. So I guess that's just like a whole thing that got like added to the building. But the black rock like hurts me, so I'm keeping away from that shit. And there was a thing about the mould, and it sounded like it was the mould and the trees. It might need some more explaining in another document. But is that the point of the trees? They don't know what the mould does, but the fact that it's been added to the building makes them think that it's going to do something. Hello? 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 No one here? No one pooping? No poopies. No poopies for anyone who works here. Not in this department anyway. No documents. Everyone upstairs is reading documents on the toilet. No one down here is. This is a much nicer bathroom, to be fair. Ah. Okay, it's behind the door. I'll just do it through the door. I've got psychic powers, baby. Yeah, I guess I would see a document through the door then if I could see that through the door. Let's see if I can loop round underneath. Boop, boop, boop. Targets. I must be able to get round down here somewhere. Oh, big cafeteria. Getting very distracted by random stuff at the moment. Document. Hubert, Black Rock analysis. I need to know about the Black Rock. Okay, so that was from two different people. Well, it was from one person in the research department to the other one. Oh, those fell over very satisfyingly. Good physics. They were from one person in the research department to the other, and it starts with a thing about why does Darling always put us in the background of the videos. So it's the people from the videos, which is funny. And the fact that they don't get any lines or anything, and he finds it really weird. And he's also clearly trying to flirt with the woman he's sending the letter to the whole time. There's a thing about him doing research on the Black Rock and calling a sample of it the Prism. But there wasn't really much to it other than that they're testing it. And it's been filed away, so he's obviously done his testing. Is that just a radio? Yeah, I can't use those anyway, because copyright. But it was more just about them flirting, which I thought was quite funny. So if I can't get through that way, can I go through this way first? Another shelter. Weird brown bits. There are always these boxes in here. Very useful. Surprised we haven't found another shelter that actually has people in it, though. Well, that noise implies that's the way to go. So let's just check here. That's too much Black Rock. We're not going that way. Let's go down this way then, and we must be able to loop round somehow. Was that an intercom? Oh, no. Just open anyway. A lot of these kind of graphics load in so slow. Is this them writing down... He said upstairs about them having to write down what they're saying. The fact that it's got slashes in it is just like, this is a weird stream of conscious. This is hard to read, this handwriting. Let's just do that. I'll pause myself on editing and I'll read through that. We'll talk about it next time. I ain't got time for that shit. Song questionnaire. That sounds fun. So that was literally just questions for after having listened to some specific song, which I'm guessing we might get to listen to by the look of this setup. This is clearly an audio-based room. But what was interesting about it is one of the things was, does it elicit the image of a weapon? That's weird. And have you ever heard murmuring voices when no one's around? And there's a great bit at the end where you've got to choose between two things, and the last one is burn out or fade away. So I'm guessing we're going to go in there and listen to Def Leppard. Let's press the button. Pour some sugar on me. I should read that document first, huh? So this is it. I don't know if this is copyright. I might not be able to leave this in, but I'll listen to the song. See if I imagine any... It's not Def Leppard, but I'll see if I imagine any weapons. Well, whether that was copyright or not, I'll be cutting that out, because it was 5 minutes long, and it was kind of shit. It was just like a really, mediocre, very 2010 prog rock song. But I realised two things. One, and I thought when I first looked at this, the slashes made it look like how I would write lyrics. This is the lyrics to the song. And two, better to burn out than to fade away is not from Pour Some Sugar on Me, it's from Rock of Ages. And I feel like a fool. Let's go see if anything can happen in here, because... Eesh. What did me pressing the button do then? Oh, did that give me the tape? Alright, I'm definitely not leaving the song in. I'll put the name of the song up now. It can't be copyright. It's clearly written for the game. I'll give you a link to it instead. I'll tell you what it's called. You can go search it. We're not listening to the freaking song. The song's shit. Press this again. Does it start the experiment? No. Doesn't seem like anything happens down here then. Other than we get that stupid song I don't like. Someone will like it. I'm sorry if you've heard the song and you like the song. I don't like. It's not me. It was really boring, and it was just this. The guy had one of those voices where you just spent the whole time. Can't do it. Can't be doing with it. Have some energy, my man. Where the fuck am I supposed to go? Dr. Darling's office. Was that up and left? Still, I can't get through this. Well, I assume I can't get through it. Yeah, it just screams at me. That's what the other red bit did. Maybe if I can find Darling's office, there'll be something there. This is a very big section to find stuff in. I suppose it's because I'm blocked off by Black Rock. I know I can't go some of the paths. This is back up near the entrance. Maybe I should have gone up. If I was Darling, I would put my office up here. Actually, I would put my office over there so that you could just get the lift in and not have to get all the stairs. Cool down, you're on fire, my man. Whoa! How dare you? I didn't even know you were there. And you're not good at dodging telepathic things. That thing it said was a lie. If anything, they seem good at dodging. I suppose at a distance they are. If you can get up close, it's better. These level 3 guys are better at surviving getting shit thrown at them. Oh, there's Darling's office. Yes, this seems like a much more interesting way to go. Dimensional research. That seems like the most interesting way to go. I'm going to look in Darling's office first, but we're coming back to this. Please let me come back to dimensional research. There's got to be all manner of shit to look at in here. Oh, I can clack his little clacky balls. Doop, 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 doop. Oh. Oh, I actually have a shadow.
Do you always need to wear them? And what's the deal with the Hadron resonance anyway?
Yeah, what is the deal with that? He's drunk. He was drunk when he made them. She said that, didn't she? Or someone told us that.
HRAs are not monitoring devices.
They're like a protective field.
Your movements, or listening to your conversations while you're wearing them. We do that regardless whether or not you're wearing. Think of them as a life preserver. Only instead of water, the thing HRAs protect you from is classified. One day that classified, not water, might pour in, and you'll be glad you got an HRA keeping you afloat.
Oh, that's
If you don't have an HRA,
very interesting.
don't worry. It'll be quick and painless. Kidding. I'm kidding. We're making more.
Wow, so he was really struggling. That's not just like he's a drunk. That was like he's genuinely struggling to deal with the situation. That's what it felt like to me anyway. Ooh, he's very interested in dimensionality, and that's a cool wall of shit. Astral plane. I'll walk around and pick up a bit of everything and then go for it all in one go, because yeah, there's going to be a few. There's 3 already. 3 things to read. I'll do all those in a bit. We'll just go through the best one. 4 things to read. I think there was also a thing for us to watch. I think we had another hotline one to do. I really like that picture where he's facing the camera and the other guy's not. That's great. Ah, happy and sad. Yeses and nos. Is that everything? Seems to be. I'm quite interested in just seeing what's on his research. I love his models as well. 100%. Whatever's happening is like a dimensional problem. And it's got to relate back to that thing when we were a kid. Right, we can go into the dimensional thing next and we'll probably learn a lot more there. But I'll read through all of those notes now because it's a lot of work. Let's do that now. And then we'll watch the video. Okay, so our first document is about the astral plane. There's a little bit about Carl Jung again. I feel like they're just throwing that in because I just want to remind you that Carl Jung's archetypes are important in this in some way. But the bulk of this is about how the items are connected, the objects of power, how they're connected to the astral plane and why they take you there after you find an item, which obviously feels more specific to me because that can't be happening to everyone, surely. But there's a bit in the second part about how the astral plane was once connected to both our dimension and specifically to the oldest house, but that's now completely severed, and that the objects of power are now the only link that we have to going into the astral plane. But there's not much more to it other than just telling you that they're linked. Next one. So this is a counter-argument, possibly to the first one, or just to Dr. Darling's theory in general that the objects of power are connected to... It's the same short blanket every time, and I think it's saying the board. So I think it's saying that they're directly connected... Darling thinks they're directly connected to the board and that they're directly linked. But then the counter-argument to what Darling is saying in this is that stuff that is directly connected to the board isn't every object of power. It's stuff like the hotline and the service weapon. But those things hurt people if you're not considered worthy of it. So you have to be the director or worthy to use those things, and if you're not, it will potentially kill you. And those are the 2 things that we found that always make us talk to the board every time we do something with them. So potentially it isn't that they're linked to the board. It could be that the board has linked to them. If there's some kind of like astral deity, which is another thing it talked about in the previous one a little bit, which I didn't touch on because it just said it like it felt like it was on a whim. On the other one, it just says that all the objects of power could have been left by some interdimensional deity. This is kind of the same thing where it's like, what if the board isn't that? Well, if they're not some astral being, they're another form of control, like they are essentially. What it says, the very last line of it is, why do we assume this involvement by the, I assume, board is a natural fact and not something more blank? So is this trying to say that the objects of power aren't necessarily some natural, wonderful link to all this dimensional stuff with the astral plane and the board? What if the board is more sinister than that and is more controlling than that? Which I think is really interesting, especially in the concept of gods. If this was reflecting on that, the idea that just because you consider something to have created something doesn't mean it's doing it out of good necessarily. And this is the same thing where the objects of power, maybe some of them are natural, but maybe some of them are fake. Maybe some of them don't do good. They're just perceived to do good because they're similar to something else that does do good. There's a lot of morality in this, weirdly. So this one's a bit more simple. It's about resonance and connecting all the objects of power through... It says the correct frequency. So is it saying in a literal sense, like the sound, the vibration of the objects being the same. It says we can harmonize control points, which I guess is what I'm doing to fix them, is they're going off and I'm matching them back up again. Which is like, is one of those things that people say, like, everything having the same, like, vibration. When people say good vibes, they literally take that from the idea of vibrating the same and being in the same sense of movement as other things, which is strange and not necessarily a thing that makes sense, especially in this context. It's interesting to think the idea that they could all link together in some way, like the objects of power are just... I don't know, I don't... All the stuff seems to imply that they all come from the same thing. But why? Why? I haven't read any research stuff that sort of feels like any of them are saying they're all powerful in completely different ways. As much as they all react with the astral plane stuff in the same way, everything else about them doesn't link. Just because you're telling me that it does doesn't mean that it does. Why don't they do more similar things then? They're all completely different things, completely different stories that affect things in completely different ways. It's surely more complicated than just they all have the same frequency. I don't know about this. I don't even know about the idea that they're all necessarily linked together. So this letter's just people arguing over having a budget. They're trying to get more budget from Dr. Darling. And it's from Dr. Lewis, who is sort of slagging off Dr. Harrington's department. So Dr. Harrington is parapsychology, Dr. Lewis is parakinesiology, and saying that they're getting more results. Claiming that their department definitely gets more tangible results, so they deserve the money and not the parapsychology part, which is quite funny, and I bet a very real argument in any company like this. But I like that they just whack power on the beginning of everything. I think that's a lot of fun. But parakinesiology, obviously the study of the movement of the objects, I guess. If it's kinesiology, that's the only thing I can think of it being. Maybe that's a word that could be broken down a little bit further, but yeah. It's funny that they're arguing. And also that he's trying to bribe him to get the stuff by giving him whiskey is quite funny. I think that's it. We can watch the video now, right? Oh, it's not Trench, it's the board. About the hiss. Don't trust the board. Kind of glad I'm not doing all that extra things, because I feel like maybe they're the bad guys. They're controlling the people who control the people. And that's weird. Conflux switchboard. This will come for us all. You must stop, shut up, them. Yeah, that's the thing, you're telling me I have to stop them, and I don't know enough about you. You're kind of equally as shady. As much as the Hiss are attacking me, that doesn't mean just because you're not the ones attacking me that you're the good guys. You can both be the bad guys. Alright, I need to watch out for snipers more now. Now that they're an established thing. Oh, come on. I got 3 headshots, I think. Can I switch which side I'm aiming on? Because... I can't, can I? It feels like she's aiming the wrong way. Also, I didn't know I could crouch until just now. Did you heal yourself in the middle there? Oh, you're a medic one. Is that why you've got a little plus? Yeah, you're healing. Oh no, you're an issue. What are you going back to? Oh, what the fuck is that? That's... it... that has what I'm seeing. That's like what's on screen within the shape, isn't it? Oh, I distrust. Right, you need to stop throwing grenades at me, you dickhead. Have a lamp! Have a friend! You heal way too quick. Right, I don't know if things are going to endlessly spawn because of this. Oh, I shifted her aim somehow. Because I'm not enjoying it. I've got to stop that before it gets away. I don't know who just fucking threw some shit at me. Get rocked. You came way too close, idiot. They just disappeared. Why? Why would the three of them just disappear like that? Also, I need to find out how to switch this back. It's getting on my tits. Okay, it's down. Okay, that's incredibly useful. But I really needed to learn how to do it. Okay, I'm going to use that to my advantage now. Why did they just disappear? Is that shit gone? I'm going in the dimension. We're not going to not go in the dimensional bit. Oh! That's a note for you. And a body for you. Have a box. Get foxed. I like this weapon. This was the right choice. Whoa! Oh, I've got him! Oh, I was like, you're coming too close to me! Oh, we've got a nice view of them. They are strange. Into the wall. Let's go through here. I didn't know they were... I mean, I grabbed one before... What? Oh. Are we doing the right thing in going in here? I don't give a shit. We're doing it. Fire break.
Can never pass through. Dimensional research. Every measure of security.
Ashtray maze. Like a literal maze. This looks like that game, I think it's called Dark Deception, where it's like Pac-Man, and you get chased by the monkey things with the symbols. That is fucking sick. Do that again. So it's gonna loop me. And the picture is a picture of this room. And in that picture, it looks like the gap is here. I wonder if the pictures are going to be how we figure out how to get out of it. Let's just let it fuck around with us a little bit. So that filled in and that opened. It's called Ashtray Maze. There was a cigarette before. I mean... That... Oh, that's the entrance. Right, so that's not letting us out. This is the most interesting thing that's happened in a while. Oh, I found a power-up. That's fun. I wonder if there's a specific object of power that would help us with this. I wonder if it's an ashtray. That's why it's the ashtray maze. There's an ashtray. I wonder if when we get to the end of it, there's an ashtray, and that's the object of power we're looking for. Ashtray maze. Did I get a note about it?
I'm averse to using objects of power.
You had loads of them bonded to you, mate.
Things I ultimately can't trust.
Yeah, agree with that.
The ashtray and the cigarette, smoking there forever, have their uses. The ashtray maze they conjure is an impossibly changing labyrinth that no one but the binder, and those the binder invites, can ever pass through.
So I need to use the things to get
Things we
through
hid
it properly.
in dimensional research, the things Darling studies, the danger and the risk involved, call for every measure of security and protection I could bring to the table. The maze, hands down, is our strongest lock.
Yes.
I gave Darling and his chosen crew license to pass through the maze. Lately, I've started to think I should revoke that license.
But is the ashtray... So the ashtray and the cigarette, it's like the two of them together. Is that here? Is it in the maze, or do I need to go and get that, then come back to the maze? Am I wasting my time looking around here? Is this something I'm supposed to come back to? Maybe I should just look up whether this is even a thing I can do now. Because if I can do it now, I would love to do it now. Okay, so having just quickly Googling basically whether I can do it. I don't want to look up how to do it in case there's a puzzle here. I like doing the puzzles myself. It sounds like I need an item before I can get through it. So we'll do some other stuff first, but very much looking forward to coming back here. It seems like an interesting puzzle. So where else are we supposed to go right now? Oh, I think... Did the thing disappear after me going in there? There's more guys, so that kind of bodes well for this being the correct path now. No, thank you. So does it carry over? If I shoot and then switch, yeah, it's still the same amount of ammo. I wonder if these things are anything to do with what I'm supposed to do. Oh, look! Oh, I can get through here. I just needed to do that. Like I did downstairs. Oh, okay, I can get into parapsychology. I did not notice those in the slides. But I'm glad we went and looked at Dr. Darling's stuff first. Right, let's head into parapsychology. I have level 3. Ooh, I actually get to see shift. Oh no, that's like a bad version of Polaris.
She's in trouble. I need to reach her.
Parakinesiology, Astro Exhibition, Parapsychology. Can I get around here? I can't really see. No, that's all blocked off. Right, we're going into Parakinesiology then. So their part of the building is mid-shift, which is obviously dangerous, as we now know. Keep moving so I don't get sniped. I'm gonna get out this way. So put something in between us. You can have that. And you can have this. Sniper's still there. Not anymore. Right, let's hope it doesn't keep giving us more dudes to deal with. One is trying to get to the stairs. So I saw you go underneath me. Oh, that might be you though. Because the other one's all the way over there. on underneath me, weren't you? Alright. Is there a control point here? Oh. Oh no. Keep your distance from the glass. This is all their testing stuff. Emergency call. What's up the top? What's happening to everyone in here? They're like dummies. It looks like they were playing dummy dodgeball. Janitor's equipment. Yeah. Is Artie a thing? He's not... Yeah. Is he a thing that's escaped? But they all talk about him like they know him and he works here. That doesn't mean that that's not part of his whole shtick. Okay, I've got a new bureau thing to do, which I'm not doing. Let's read that document. Go away. I don't want to activate it. Alright. Oh, that's a bureau alert. Is that a different thing? I've got 20 minutes. I don't know where pneumatics is. Okay, so that's an emergency call. And the person says that they're in the wires. So is it like someone who's trapped in a phone and they're calling them because they're trying to literally go through to them? And it's interesting that it says dispatcher the first time and then D the rest of the time, but says voice twice. Is that to say there's more than one voice? And it's weird that the third one says gone away. Someone trapped in a phone. There's going to be some other bad phone stuff happening around here. And that other call was an event, which I feel like I should maybe go and do. And that's kind of it for this episode, so maybe in between I'll go and find out what that was about, and then we'll come back to the Astral Exhibition next time. Goodbye!
There's someone who knows how good our famous breakfasts are.
Good morning, you terrifying Doctor Who villain motherfucker.